Hello, everyone. My name is PK Vogel, and I'd like to start this presentation off with a question. Have you ever realized you completely misunderstood someone only to find out later they meant something totally different? This happens to me more often than not because I'll be talking to my friends and they'll be saying something and then I answer them, but then later I go back and I think about it and I'm completely misunderstood what they were saying or what they meant. Um, the chapter I chose to pursue in this presentation was chapter 3, which is perceiving others. Which in this presentation I'll be talking about um, how it impacted me, what I've learned, and how I'll use it, and what I learned about myself. The first key point, the first main point I would like to point is key concept that impacted me, which is precipitation checking, which means um, basically you assume what someone means, which we do that a lot, and I think that's where we get it all wrong because you don't you're assuming what they're meaning, but that's not what you're really you shouldn't do that because you have no idea what they're actually meaning. You should take a break, pause, and then in your head you should try to figure out what they're trying to mean, or if you don't figure out what they're trying to mean, you just ask them, "Hey, could you be more clear? Could you clarify this for me, please?" And the second main point is what I learned and how I'll use it. Um, for me, first impressions and assumptions are what I go based off of, but that's gonna be inaccurate. Like, I can't just assume something of this person. Um, I can't just assume what this person is thinking or is going to say just by how they look. Um, for example, this article called "Social Psychology Series: Perceiving Others" by Madison Good states that that most people assume things about others based on their appearance, behavior, and social cues. Which I don't think you should judge a book by its cover. I can't judge whether this person is gonna think a good thing about me or a bad thing about me just because of the way he looks, acts, and is socially interactive with others. Um, and going back to my second point, I think going back to my first point, I don't I have a little picture right here, which is a selection, organization, and interpretation, which I think you should, with the selection, it's the hearing part, which I think you should hear them out. Organization, you should organize your thoughts, and then interpretation, you interpretate what they're saying in your thoughts before you say it out loud. And the third main point is what I learned about myself. This chapter made me notice that sometimes I often take personalized things personal, which, for example, if someone is being distant or is not talking to me, I shouldn't take that personally. I don't think I have the right to because they might not want to talk. I don't know what's going on in their life. Um, so to wrap things up, my favorite chapter in this class was chapter 3, perceiving others, which made me think about precipitation checking, empathy, and attribution had the biggest impact on me, which now it's made me be a better be a better communicator, and um, it's improved my relationships with my family members and friends. Thank you for listening. I appreciate your time.